Good afternoon, I'm Karlyn and welcome to Southern Cross University News. Well, there is no doubt that the Lismore community spirit has shone through in the recovery from the recent floods. I was on campus today for the Welcome Back Wednesday event. The student services at the university have shown their support for students affected by the recent floods in the region by holding an event in the Goodman Plaza today. Welcoming students back to campus following study week, flood recovery services and support were made available to students. The event, held by the Lismore and External Student Association LEXA, SCU Counselling and the SCU Chaplaincy Service, intended to help build morale on campus following the natural disaster.
It's important to support students in times of hardship, and we're hoping by holding this event that we've been able to put some smiles on the students' faces and connect them with the support services that's available to them.
Local services, including the community group Lismore Helping Hands, the Flood Recovery Centre and the Emergency Chaplaincy Service, were available to offer emotional and physical support to those students affected by the floods. Michael Jones is a welfare door knocker with the Lismore Helping Hands, and he has been helping students throughout the afternoon.
Making sure that they're aware of what services are in place and available, but more importantly making sure that they're coping emotionally well with the trauma of grief and loss that everyone's been through.
The Welcome Back Wednesday event ran in conjunction with LEXA's free weekly barbecue. Students enjoyed free massages and other social activities whilst listening to live music by local musician and SCU student Dylan Pinkerton.
There's been a lot of support for a lot of people, especially in disaster situations. Yeah, it's been great.
LEXA is just great. I just love the way that they support the students. It feels like such a community here.
The university and wider community have today rallied together to make sure students know they are supported in getting back on their feet. Even after everything has been packed up, it's the emotional support that really does play an important role in the recovery process. I'm Karlyn reporting for SCU News, Lismore. Skin cancer is a huge issue, affecting 2 in every 3 Australians. And with global temperatures expected to rise in coming years, the Cancer Council is predicting that the risk of developing skin cancer may increase. Chloe Jagar reports.
More than 2,000 Australians die from skin cancer every year. While Australians love the outdoors, our active lifestyle comes with a risk. And the Cancer Council is warning that the risk of skin cancer may increase in years to come, with doctors agreeing.
What we've got is what's called a demographic bulge, that we still have a large population of baby boomers and Gen Xers who haven't reached the peak years of skin cancer production, unfortunately, and we're going to see an increase in Australia before we see a decrease.
With temperatures in Australia expected to rise by a top of 1.5 degrees by 2030, the increased heat may lead to people wearing less clothing and increasing their sun exposure, thereby increasing their risk of skin cancer.
All we can do is encourage people to do the right thing and educate them, and hopefully we'll get better outcomes.
According to the Australian Bureau of Statistics, skin cancer is the most common form of cancer in Australia, making up almost 1/3 of the cancers that Australians have. And, according to the Cancer Council, 2 in 3 of us will be diagnosed with skin cancer by the time we reach the age of 70. Many Australians have been impacted by skin cancer. John Quarry is one example.
Well, I suppose over the last 15 to 20 years, I've had quite a few cut off, basically from my face mainly, and mainly basal cell carcinomas. I do try and wear a hat when I'm outside in the sun or I go fishing or something like that. And I'm very protective of my grandchildren slopping and slapping.
The Council's advice on how to reduce UV exposure can be boiled down to 5 easy words: slip, slop, slap, seek and slide. You should slip on clothing, slap on sunscreen, slap on a hat, seek shade and slide on a pair of sunglasses.
The Cancer Council has identified one positive trend regarding skin cancer amongst Australians. Due to sun protection campaigns, statistics show many young people have reduced their exposure to UV radiation, meaning we can get back to doing what we love without risking our health. I'm Chloe Jagar, reporting for SCU News.
Since the recent floods in Lismore, people and businesses are attempting to restore normality in their lives. Thankfully, many organisations have come to the Recovery Centre to provide locals with a variety of support services. Elise Hodgson reports.
The floodwaters may have receded, but the people of Lismore are still grappling to restore normality. A disaster recovery centre has been set up in East Lismore with a number of organisations on hand to help. The Salvation Army is among those providing support here in Lismore as well as in Murwillumbah. I spoke to Lindsay Reeves about the services they are providing.
Helping out with people who are looking for groceries and some clothing in kind, which we can either supply by a voucher or they can head up to our church up and get an Alabar if they're mobile and receive those.
The clean-up continues in Lismore. The council has announced they will have free tip days until the end of April.
Still people who are displaced from their housing, and are struggling with getting back cleaned up and getting back in.
Legal aid are among the services available at the Recovery Centre. They are advocating people don't give up despite any no's that they may be hearing from their insurance company.
Come talk to us, let us put it in there and give it a chance instead of just, I don't have it, forget it.
As people get back into their homes, attentions are turning to their livelihoods and restoring local businesses. The national government has announced the availability of Class C grants. The Rural Assistance Authority will accept applications until the 13th of October. The New South Wales Government has arranged an insurance forum to be held at the Lismore Recovery Centre on April 27th from 6 until 9 p.m. This collaboration between the council, the government and insurers will provide one-on-one support for policyholders. A similar forum is to be held the following evening at the Tweed Heads Recovery Centre. I'm Elise Hodgson, reporting for Southern Cross University News.
The Lismore and External Student Association have held their annual general meeting today at the SCU campus in Lismore. The association will elect representative students to their committee, as well as discuss how students' compulsory fees are spent.
Southern Cross University students have gathered this afternoon at the Lismore campus for the Lismore and External Students Association annual general meeting. The association, more commonly known as LEXA, represents all SCU students as discussed by newly elected Vice President Michael Jones.
The committee are students themselves and they're to provide a voice of the general students on campus.
New LEXA President Alex Hammond explains the role LEXA plays.
We're the student governing body of the other clubs here at the university. We manage projects, also events at the university.
One of the key aims of today's AGM is for LEXA to designate representative students.
Today's purpose was to elect new committee members for the committee, students who are wanting to be engaged on the campus.
The services and support provided by LEXA are funded by the Student Services and Amenities Fee, or SAF, which is a Commonwealth Government legislated fee and is compulsory for all students to pay.
The funding comes from SAF, which is paid by the students as part of their fees, is allocated to go back into supporting them on extra services.
LEXA's Marketing and Engagement Coordinator, Rihanna Poole, says student engagement with LEXA has been a little slow to develop.
Yeah, we're finding that since we've only been established for about 5 years, it's taken us a while to build it up. But now we're finding increasing numbers and our membership's growing.
Michael Jones believes that students will be well advised to become more engaged with representative bodies such as LEXA.
All this funding is their funding, so it's, it would be important for them to have a say how their money is being allocated.
Today's AGM at the Lismore campus shows the continuing growth of LEXA as a representative student body.
This is Chris Spitt in Lismore reporting for Southern Cross University News.
After the devastating Lismore flood that took place only a few weeks ago, the road to recovery has been not only a fight but a tiresome process for many locals and businesses in the area.
The road to recovery has been challenging for all in the heart of the Northern Rivers. Lismore is now slowly recovering from the flooding caused by ex-cyclone Debbie. Numerous residents as well as small businesses have been seriously affected. However, the fight to clean up has begun.
It's a devastation for the whole town, but lots of people look at the positive sides, like the community and helping each other, and humans are wonderful.
The support from businesses in the area has allowed locals to feel back at home, and this is what is needed in order for the community to come back stronger.
We've been able to go back and clean probably from Sunday Mondays when we first been able to get in here and start the cleanup.
Correspondingly, Black Sombrero, a Mexican restaurant on Keene Street, reopened its doors only a few weeks after the flood. The owner, Julie Dixon, decided to create and hang red heart flags to symbolize the town's resilience and survival after the floods.
I just got this idea of creating like a heart flag to put out the front of our restaurant, just to say, like, we can do this, we can rise up, burning the mud off, and keep going.
About 16 of the red heart flags are now hanging from majority of businesses in the CBD.
It's very homely community.
It's a great way to channel the energy, the creative energy is a way to rebuild from all the loss and see it as a new beginning and a new chapter.
That number continues to grow as more local businesses find out about the creative initiative.
I think it's a good idea if the community has some sort of symbol to rally around and focus and show. It's an outward show of courage and getting back to normal in some way.
It has been a challenge for the community to come back from the recent devastation caused by ex-cyclone Debbie, but the support from businesses in the area is there. I'm Chad Legnon reporting from Southern Cross University News.
It is always an intense rivalry when two sides play each other in the Far North Coast Premier League hockey competition, and the game between East Lismore and Grafton City Bears was no exception. Marissa Newman has the story.
On Sunday, the 30th of April, East Lismore and Grafton City Bears faced off in the Far North Coast Premier League hockey competition. The game was played hard and fast, with both sides hungry for the victory. A contentious penalty stroke decision in the first half caused tempers to flare on both sides, with the umpires needing to bring the captains in for a discussion.
No, right or wrong, it doesn't matter. What he saw there and what I see down here, we're two different people, okay? Alright, so what you know is what you have to take. I don't want people questioning this. Just play the game.
At half-time, East Lismore in their lead 4-1, having scored some hard-hitting goals, but the Grafton side wasn't done yet. Grafton City Bears picked up the pace after the half-time break, coming out with a new energy and determination. The side from Grafton was unlucky not to come away with at least a draw, as David Dard explains.
So, really stoked with how the guys went today. We came up here missing 5 A-grade players, so a lot of guys had to back up from reserve grade. Our goalkeeper had an absolute blinder, and some of the young fellas, young Mikey Wright really stood up. Got another old bloke up here, Rick Sampson, he had a really good game for an old fella. Besides that, everyone really stuck in. Considering we were down 4-1, we got back to 4-3. Could have got a draw at the end, but just fortunately missed out, so still pretty happy to come away with a 4-3 loss.
East Lismore were happy with their performance, but noticed that there were some areas for improvement. Player Reece Amos spoke to us more.
Pretty good game today, bloody hot weather out there. Did well, first half, roll over them 4-1. Let them back into the game a bit with 2 goals, and but overall we've played pretty well. Obviously can improve in some spots, but we'll get better as a team and go from there.
It was a hard-fought game with tensions at an all-time high, with Bears unfortunate not to pull off the ultimate comeback, losing the game 3-4. This has been Marissa Newman reporting for Southern Cross University News.
If you have trouble remembering what rubbish goes in which bin, it's going to get harder with the introduction of a new bin system. Jessica Neal reports.
Tweed Shire Council is going to implement the 3-bin system during the first week of July to help reduce household waste going to landfill. Tweed Council aims to reduce the amount of organic waste by having a new green-lidded bin specifically for organic household waste, which will benefit the environment.
Organic waste in landfill is a bad thing because it creates methane, which goes into the atmosphere. It creates leachates, which get into the soil and groundwater.
The 3-bin system will help Tweed reach the target to divert 70% of waste from landfill by 2021 set by the New South Wales Government. The new system will give households a bin for their garden and food waste. It will continue to have the yellow bin for recycling and the red bin for household waste that cannot be recycled or go into compost. Tweed resident and mother of 2, Erin Elladines, sees the benefits of the new system for a future of the environment.
Oh look, I believe that the 3-bin system is going to be beneficial to everybody. I personally have about 50% of my household use being organic reusable material.
Food and garden waste are the largest proportions of waste going to landfill from New South Wales homes, with reports showing that the average household produces around 23 kilograms of waste each week. Tweed will be joining the 28 other New South Wales councils that have implemented the 3-bin system, including Ballina Shire, Byron Shire and Lismore City in northern New South Wales. The organic waste will be processed at the Stotts Creek Resource Recovery Centre to make nutrition-rich compost for the community. I'm Jessica Neal reporting for Southern Cross University News.
Friends of the Koalas, a non-for-profit organisation that works for koala conservation in the Northern Rivers, has received a funding boost, allowing them to expand their operations and build a new administration and education centre. Narelle Johnson has the story.
Established in 1986, Friends of the Koalas have become the leading organisation for koala conservation in the Northern Rivers. Funds from the Pat Barnage's bequest and an $80,000 grant from the Australian Department of Infrastructure and Regional Development have allowed them to build a new education centre.
This building is going to be, the focus is going to be educating the community about koalas, about how they can actually help ensure that the koalas will survive into the future. It's about taking over all of our admin areas. So the tourist component of it is really quite strong. But the other side of it is that we're taking on for the first time a permanent staff person.
Plans are underway to expand the capabilities of the care centre for the benefit of the koalas.
Once this area is cleared of all the administration, which is going to be going to the new building, we're hoping to be able to install a workbench here to actually have vets coming to the care centre. We're also hoping that eventually we'll be able to knock a wall out and have a large viewing window that people can come by and see what's happening when the vet is working on the koalas.
Since its beginning, Friends of the Koalas have released over 1,000 koalas just like Cyclone and hope for many more in the future. With increased tourism, better education facilities and a quieter care centre, hopefully we'll start to see more koalas in trees like this, where they belong. I'm Narelle Johnson for Southern Cross University News.
The Liverpool Football Academy at Southern Cross Sports Centre in East Lismore is fostering youth development in the far north coast. The Academy has entered 3 sides into the Gold Coast Junior Premier League. Thibaut Bertier reports.
The Liverpool International Football Academy program at Southern Cross Football Centre is in full swing. Teams aged 10 through to 15 train at the academy, with 3 sides competing in the Gold Coast Junior Premier League. Head coach James Gow is impressed with the quality of the academy's JPL sides.
We're very fortunate that we've got a strong group of players, and we think that the next level and next challenge that we can give them is competing up on the Gold Coast.
The academy aims to provide players with skills both on and off the pitch.
For us, the first and foremost is that we try and provide an environment in which the players are good people off the pitch as well as on the pitch. You know, we focus a lot on values and the things that we hold dear to players at Liverpool Football Clubs.
Academy provides players with the same curriculum underwent by some of Liverpool's best.
I think the key is that we also use the curriculum and the technical programme that we use at Liverpool Football Club in the UK. So the players are experiencing the same sessions that players like Ben Woodburn, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Stephen Gerrard, all these guys that go on to play for Liverpool's first team have experienced as well.
General Manager Scott Collis says the academy provides local players with the opportunity to play at a higher level on a more regular basis.
They're playing in a higher level competition against some very strong clubs, and they're playing each week together, getting a chance to put in practice what they're learning on the pitch.
Obviously, opportunities for Far North Coast players to test themselves at a higher level has been limited due to the region's geographical location on the Queensland-New South Wales border.
It's just been because of where we are, right at the end of Newcastle's region. We just haven't been able to offer that opportunity before.
The future of football on the Far North Coast looks bright. This is Thibaut Berthier reporting for Southern Cross University News.
People living in regional areas rarely get the opportunity to gain experience working at events on the world stage. NEP Australia's host broadcast training program will be offering internships for the Gold Coast 2018 Commonwealth Games. With more than 140 mobile broadcast units and over 50 studios and custom control rooms around the globe, this international opportunity will deliver an integrated learning experience to the next generation of live television program makers. NEP Australia is coming to Lismore to give locals a chance to work with one of their mobile broadcast units while filming 2 football matches. The Liverpool International Football Academy is a collaboration bringing together the teaching expertise of Southern Cross University with the well-known coaching philosophy and methodology of the Liverpool Football Club. Scott Collis explains how this event will benefit the Liverpool Academy.
We see NEP event as an opportunity to showcase what we're doing here and also to engage and connect to the university, giving a chance for our university students to see the facility here and our operation as a teaching resource.
Southern Cross University Associate Professor Grayson Cook expresses how this event will enrich media students' knowledge, skills and experience.
This event will give students a really great hands-on experience in a kind of media production which takes it outside of the studio.
On-campus students at Southern Cross University get great experience working in the university's television studio.
Students will gain a really diverse experience of a live multicam filming event, and they'll get incredible mentoring from professionals who work on sports media events every day of their lives.
This rare opportunity to work with a worldwide broadcaster like NEP will have Lismore locals queuing up. The added incentive to earn a possible internship with the Gold Coast 2018 Commonwealth Games will mean many will miss out. In Lismore, I'm Brett Rouse reporting for Southern Cross University News.
I'm Karlyn Major and you've been watching Southern Cross University News.